Hello, welcome back to the next episode of the GNA podcast. I am, like Tem, also into big bears. Shooby doo.
And I'm your favorite cuddly bear, Soroni.
Again?
I swear we don't think of these
We
beforehand.
really don't. That's how.
Sorry,
That was awkward.
it was low hanging fruit.
Well, that was awkward. Welcome to the next episode of the GNA podcast. We talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb. How are you doing tonight, Oni?
I am doing well. How are you doing tonight?
A little tired, but I'm not gonna lie. I was able to find the energy because I was actually excited for this episode.
Same.
This was a stupidly good week in anime. Well, last week was a great week for anime. Like it was really just back to back to back to back to back.
This was one of the better weeks for sure.
Absolutely. So without any further ado, let's get started with our news segment this week in anime. I'm gonna go first with a little bit of juicy drama. It's not drama. It's just people being stupid.
That's kind of like drama.
It's drama. So basically, High Dive apologized after posting Twitter meme about Texas winter storm, according to News Network. Basically, High Dive made a Akame ga Kill reference. I've never seen it. Maybe Oni can help.
I know it's very violent. I haven't seen it either, but I know of it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because it just shows why it seems the main character reaching out for a hot girl that says Winter Storm. I'm guessing the Winter Storm is about to kill.
Yeah.
The hot guy.
Probably in bad taste.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Like, and people are here without, water, heat, electricity, etc., etc. Like, yeah, it's like, damn, you could have let them maybe till after.
Yeah, give it a while.
The fact, give it a while, maybe.
Like next winter,
of course.
maybe,
and then
like
High Dive
80 degrees or something.
Yeah, and then High Dive realizes that they're stupid. And they said, hey, we're located in Texas and dealt with the situation firsthand. Blah 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 blah. We're also going through it. This is not intended to belittle the situation. We apologize for this. But I'm like, but the situation's bad. So why would you make this meme?
Yeah. No, just always in bad taste to try to meme about like a tragedy while it's happening
in real life.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a tell caution.
Bit of marketing 101 too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, just tell caution. I know we as an anime community can get carried away with like memes and shit, but let's use our common sense and a little bit of empathy because both of those combined can go a long way.
Indeed.
All right, Oni, what do you got for us?
I also have something related to a company apologizing. So small world, or very busy week for companies with bad PR. So Seven Seas is apologizing for their horrible translations with Mushoku Tensei and Classroom of the Elite, and they're going to reissue Classroom of the Elite Volume 7, and they're re-evaluating choices for Mushoku Tensei after complaints. Basically what happens is Seven Seas Entertainment is doing the light novel translations for those two series, but according to text comparisons posted on Reddit, the Seven Seas release of Classroom of the Elite Volume 7 omitted entire paragraphs of prose and dialogue from the original Japanese novel. Readers complained the changes made it harder to understand what was happening in the story. And I know Classroom of the... I've never seen it, but I know Classroom of the Elite is like one of those very Monogatari-esque stories where it's just like super big brain and everyone's talking constantly and they're all doing like their philosophical little things. So I imagine omitting huge text would probably be an issue with that kind of series.
Yeah. Wait, I have a question. Classroom of the Elite, is that the name Vince translated?
Yeah. I think I don't know if it's the
Mushoku Tensei. I was like,
no,
is it the same
no,
thing?
it's a different show or a different light novel.
Okay,
Classroom of
different
the
line
Elite is
number.
different, yeah.
Okay, great.
For Mushoku
Continue.
Tensei, what they did was similar cases of omissions were noted for the first two volumes of Mushoku Tensei. Several controversial changes involve rewritten characterization. For example, a scene which depicted the protagonist Rudy roping and attempting to pull the panties off of a sleeping girl was replaced with him trying to pull a shirt over her stomach to prevent her from getting cold. Vastly different context of that situation. That kind of changes his whole character, but okay. That's nice. And then another notable change was in Volume 1 involving removing references to rape. When Lilia described her past sexual history with Paul in Chapter 9, he mentally referred to Paul's action as rape and adultery, and this was changed in English to cheater. In addition, another section earlier in the same chapter where Lilia recalls an incident where Paul snuck into her bedroom at night for sex, describing the act as forced, the reference to the force was removed in the English version. So yeah, just kind of like trying to cover it up and make it much more PG, I guess, as PG as you can make this type of series. Which I think, my whole thing with this is I don't mind like localizations. Like I know people go crazy about if it's not literally translated word for word like it is in Japan in Japanese, and it's not a good translation. I don't mind localizations, but my issue is when you do stuff like this. When you like actually change
like some
plots,
like the perception of someone,
or like their characters, like like the whole thing about Rudy is that he's he's a lovable character, but he's also a sleazy character. It makes him like more gray, and then just make him like, oh yeah, we're just gonna ignore this whole part about him being a kind of overly perverted horny dude that is also somewhat charming in some ways. It just kind of like changes the whole characterization of these characters, which I'm not okay with. So that I view as a form of censorship.
Yeah, so I agree. Like, so with card captor, like for example, with card captors, what that localization happening. I mean,
oh yeah, like
the original is great. The original is great, but at least when they localized, they weren't just like, oh, let's just change some of the things, and then but we'll still include the fact that two kids are like, fighting over the affections of like a teenage man, or let's keep the not sometimes not so subtle hints of like incest pairings, like. So they decided to change everything, and they're like, we're making this a kid show, just kids, period. This is now Yu-Gi-Oh ish.
Yeah,
got it. It's like I don't understand. It's like, yeah, this is still like this anime still has a lot of very overly mature themes to it.
I don't understand why they're sanitizing it. If it's like I don't know, it's like if I localize Queen's Blade, it's just like they're all wearing sweaters. And I don't know, like at a certain point,
it's like if you're going to depict characters a certain way, like stick to your guns.
Yeah, just
translate it. Yeah, just translate it.
You're gonna get caught anyway. Like you live in the age where everyone has the internet and they can pull up raw copies of these books and stuff.
Exactly. Just don't do it, because now you look stupid and weird. You got caught.
Yeah. Yikes! Don't you feel stupid?
And trust me, honey, we are not done addressing this.
Oh yeah,
anime at all, not one bit. But but for now, because we have so much awesome anime to talk about, we're gonna put it on pause, and we're going to move on to our weekly review, starting off with Attack on Titan final season episode 11.
And it's my episode of the week.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Are you gonna argue about this one?
I'm not saying I can understand why, but wow, okay.
It's all right. So it's not usually my cup of tea with an episode, like because nothing really plot. There was a couple of plot things that happened, but
no,
it was mostly a character. Episode.
It was a character episode, a very huge one. It was I mean, I'm still fuck Gabi all day.
Oh yeah, no, fuck
Um,
Gabi. All my homies hate Gabi.
yeah, no. Okay, go in, please.
All right,
Explain to me why
so
you made this game
I
for me.
happen to be rewatching Attack on Titan with my mom, and we
Uh-huh.
just so happened to be, we literally right before I watched this episode, like literally saw the episode where in season 2 where Sasha saves this girl that was in this
Mm,
episode. So there
mm,
are so many callbacks now that I'm watching this
yeah.
episode to the first 2-3 seasons that it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of crazy, and I really love it because it's so well written. So, for example, uh, use one of the smaller examples. The one with Mikasa arresting that girl. Like, that girl was just literally the girl that was in, like, episode 2 that Mikasa saved
Mm-hmm.
from the baggage train. So, just to have her now just be appearing back in the plot, and I feel like she's going to be more important later on. So, to have, like, callbacks like that just surface up again, I think is really good. But
Yeah.
even more importantly, like, I just love the whole way that this whole thing is circling back around for Gabi. So she
Yeah.
gets rescued by Sasha's father. She's living in their parents' house. Um, so there's that whole redemption. I like that her redemption is going to be through Sasha's, like, the person she killed is kind of redeeming her in a way because she's getting her redemption
Yeah.
through Sasha's parents and the girl that Sasha saved
Yeah.
in season 2. So I just think that that's such good writing. It's such good. Also, there was a throwaway line in season 2 where Sasha's dad was just like, "Oh no, maybe I'll raise some horses or something, and I'll make my living that way." And it's just cool. He's raising horses. So the throwaway line in season 2 is what he actually ended up doing. So I like continuity like that, and I think it makes the world feel a lot more alive. So this episode was just like a writing orgasm for me. The continuity.
Yeah, no, I definitely liked where Gabby was supposed to, where Gabby literally was forced to look at her own reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a less violent reflection,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it literally was just like she was like, "Well, mom," it was like blah, 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 my trauma, and she's like, blah blah, my trauma, which is caused also by your people." Like there's like trauma, like. They were just yelling back at each other, and then Gabby's like, "Oh shit, this sounded a lot like me."
Yeah. Yeah, I think that scene
Like,
was really good. It also just shows like the circular nature of violence, where it's like, well, you did this to
mhm.
me, well, you did that to me, well, your
Yeah,
ancestors did that.
because Gabby literally was trying to explain, well, oh, your ancestor did that, and she's like, well, what does that have to do with my mom? Like that was 100 years ago. Hello.
Yeah. So yeah, Gabby getting her. First off, Gabby getting fucked up by that horse was great.
Oh my god,
Bless that
that literally
horse.
gave me life. I was like, please, I wish it wait last month. I wish it took a chunk out of her head. She just had like a random bald spot.
Gabby's really trying to be worst girl out here. The way she just keeps trying to murder every Eldian she sees.
Holy shit! She was like, "Oh, you heard us, grass pitchfork. You
I'm like,
must stop."
you're in public in her house with everyone watching you, and you're gonna grab a pitchfork and kill her.
They're all going to see you. And what are you gonna do? Kill them all as well?
It's gonna be like me when I play Hitman. I'm just gonna kill everybody. No witnesses. You saw. You saw. You saw.
Oh my god!
The memes
And
were
of
great.
course, yeah, and you know that wouldn't be the first Eldian she killed this episode. Nope, she killed the dude breaking out the jail for no reason. And
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
what the fuck is
hey,
a dick? Gabi, what the fuck is wrong with you?
he was actually like he wasn't a dick. He wasn't
Yeah, he was
awful. He was
literally
just like,
checking up on you to see you're okay.
oh my god, are you okay? And she's like, brick. And then it's not even like the first hit. She was like, brick, brick, brick. And I'm like, why? Why kill him?
I love Falco. Falco's
Yes. Oh
Falco's
god.
great.
Yeah.
Putting him next to Gabi just makes him look so much better.
Yes, because he just has like I don't know.
Common sense and
Yeah,
not crazy.
exactly. He's
not a
not.
homicidal maniac.
Yeah, he's not Reiner 3.0.
Also, they're apparently gonna go see what's his name?
Zeke,
No, Nicola, was it?
Niccolo.
Yes, who also has this thing for
With
Sasha.
that's how the connection.
So
with Sasha.
if he figures out Gabi killed, I feel like he's gonna figure it out because he could recognize her. He's gonna be like, wait, aren't you from the fucking warrior cadets?
I mean, yeah, I guess
Because he was in the army, right? So they would know who the warrior cadets were.
Yeah, if she was one at the time, because it was like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like,
shit. Well, I hope he does notice, and then I hope he beats the shit out of her.
Right.
Just stabs her.
Literally boils like hot potato water on her.
Oh, I was gonna say lobster. Throws a boiling lobster soup on her or something.
Yeah. Lobster bisque.
Sasha says her regards.
Just stabs her with the lobster claw.
Yeah, the ultimate symbolism.
Yeah.
Oh, if she gets killed by a potato, that'd be awesome. Please let Gabi get killed by a potato. Let her get poisoned eating a potato or something.
Oh my god. Man, they're not gonna do it, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Also, Gabi in her, like, you can see just how hypnotized she is by the Marleyan brainwashing.
Mm-hmm.
When she doesn't even want to take off her armband.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what in the SS is going on?
Yeah.
literally a point where it's like, oh, like Pablo's like, Gabi, take it off because we're gonna get noticed. She's like, no, it's my pride
and honor, blah blah
blah blah blah. I'm just like, God, I hate this woman.
I do too, especially when she wouldn't want to eat the food and shit. She was like, I can't eat this fucking Eldian food.
I was about to be like, bitch, well, more for me. Let her starve. I'm okay.
I feel like Gabi is Uncle Ruckus, but
yeah,
he's like, goddamn Eldians making things difficult for us Marleyans.
Like I just saw, or was it you who retweeted that?
Oh, with the bike.
Yeah, with the bike.
Yeah.
For guys who don't know what we're talking about, there's like a meme where Gabi is like on a bike and she falls over and she like bangs her knee and she's like, "Damn devils!" Like,
yeah, no, fuck Gabi.
Yeah, fuck Gabi. This was a great episode.
Yeah,
I love you, Falco. You're great. Please don't ever die.
Please don't die. Oh my god, if Falco dies and Gabi lives, oh no,
Gabi. He's not worth it.
He's totally gonna sacrifice himself for Gabi.
Oh my god.
Gabi's like the worst plague on this series. She's gonna get all the good characters killed.
Yo, remember when we liked her like in the...
I know, I'm so ashamed.
Yeah. Alright. Let's move on to ReZero. We talk about more characters that disappoint me this week.
Oh yeah, your favorite.
So this episode, we basically see Rosewall, Betty, and Ryuzu's connection to Echidna. First of all, that kiss at the beginning, Jesus.
That was actually the most, like, maybe passionate's the right word, or not the right word, but it's like the most intense kiss,
like,
in the series. Yeah, Jesus. Way more intense than the Amelia Super.
I mean, I think that's like what, the second kiss.
Yeah, comparison wise, I prefer this kiss scene over the Amelia Super one.
I mean, just watch hentai then.
Well, I will.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. Well, at least Rosewall has good taste. At least we now know Rosewall has good taste, and he's climbed in my book.
Yeah, Rosewall is actually a Echidna simp, and of course he has declined dramatically because I don't deal with guys who simp over women that hard, because I don't simp for people who don't simp for me. Period. Hashtag love yourself.
Be your own biggest simp.
Exactly. I love how they like showed the duplicitous nature of Echidna, but like never showing her eyes, like never.
Yeah, that was really good. I like that. I was half expecting her to like them to leave the room, and it pans back to her, and she just looks evil and starts laughing or something. But I also would have liked. I would like that too, but I like that it's more subtle, and it's like, oh, she is manipulating them, but it's not super thick. You know, it's like, oh, you sneaky bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do like the slice of life aspect this episode. It was very cute, but But ReZero kind of excels at that.
It does, especially with Beatrice. I feel like Beatrice, like I want
Mhm.
more of her because she's just actually one of the most fun characters on the show.
Agreed. The scene where she like says goodbye to Ryuzu, I'm just like, ugh, my heart.
Like I said, I know I was supposed to feel bad for Ryuzu in that scene, but I just felt worse for Beatrice because it was like she was losing her friend, her like only friend.
Yeah, I understand that. I know they were getting on you because priorities, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like even after Beatrice's life is not exactly the most fun.
Mm-hmm.
um, excuse me. So we get to learn that, and I love that through these flashbacks you get more world building.
Yeah.
Because now you realize, oh, there were the 7 witches of like their respective sins, and then but there are also everyone else. And I guess the women are called witches and the men are called devils.
Yes.
Yes, and in this episode we meet the devil of melancholy, Hector.
Hector. His incredible, impeccable fashion sense.
Oh God, he was so bad, so bad.
I tell you, like clowns.
He didn't even look like a clown.
Kind of. He was really pale.
He was dressed like an idiot. Definitely didn't look like a clown.
Nah, he kind of looked clowny. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, the outfit was clown-ish, but like it was also
He wasn't
bad.
fun. He wasn't a fun clown. He was more like one of those sad clowns.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Definitely a sad clown. Nope, I can't speak. Sad clown. Sorry. Um, I once again, just like with Attack on Titan, you get to see like the reflection of Rosewall's what's what I'm looking for? Rosewall's dedication to Echidna and Subaru's dedication to Echidna. To Emilia.
To Echidna.
And they kind of just like mirror each other, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna make all this happen because Echidna."
I wasn't a big fan of that part. It was literally just them yelling, like, "I love Echidna." No, I love Emilia.
I'm
like, all right, guys.
I can't tell if I just like, and I've seen this twice. I kind of saw this twice, mind you, so I can tell. I know the first time I definitely like zoned out, but the second time it felt like I zoned out again because it felt like they weren't saying anything important.
They weren't, as far as I can tell. It was just them like literally going back and forth, like, "Well, Amelia's #1. Well, Echidna is the best." Da, 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 da. And there was like some important stuff mixed in between there, but for the most part, it was just them simping.
Yeah,
it was literally just waifu wars within the show.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I kind of checked out at that point twice.
Understandable.
But yeah, but Subaru was like, "Well, I'm gonna beat you. I'm doing the Subaru pose," which is like
God,
the opposite of the flag. What?
I don't like that pose.
Oh well, I feel like you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I feel like you're not supposed to like anything about Subaru. The more I watch this show, anything Subaru does, I'm just feeling is like, oh, I'm not supposed to like this.
I like his tenacity.
That's a very optimistic way of looking at this character.
That's why I mean, if there's anything I like his tenacity.
I would say I hate his persistence, but I'm just a pessimist.
I guess so. Okay, let's move on to Tensura Season 2, Episode 6.
Ooh, this could have also been episode of the week for me, surprisingly enough.
Oh, excuse me.
Because it actually got pretty dark. It was a pretty dark
episode. It got pretty dark for slime.
It went places slime doesn't normally go.
Would I give it episode of the week? No, but
the fight scene.
Okay. I'm like looks at the rest of the anime watching looks back at
Oh
him.
no, not Attack on Titan again.
No, not even Attack on Titan. I like multiple, multiple.
I can only think of Attack on Titan. ReZero's fight scenes aren't that impressive to me.
Oh, well, not even. Well, I just meant the episode as like a whole.
Oh, as a whole.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the fight scenes were good. Like, I was satisfied. Totally forgot about this Holy Knight woman.
Oh yeah, no, I totally forgot she existed.
Me too.
Like I said before, I'm not the hugest fan of like this bullshit energy barrier that they keep throwing up that weakens every monster. Like, A, that feels kind of OP because you just well, if that's the case, I can just throw this shit anywhere and be like, I'm killing all the monsters. And B, this feels like contrived to just be like. So without this energy barrier, would Rimuru just like beat the shit out of this Holy Knight? Like, would he just like come up and slap her and she'd be dead?
Right. I want like. Not even so much, well, maybe the Rimuru fight I'm fine with because Rimuru. Maybe. Okay, so I'm fine with Rimuru having his power level taken down to fight her.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish he also didn't have like a weapon that makes her godlike.
Yeah, it feels cheaper because
like
for that you could have just made her strong. Like just make her as strong as Rimuru and she has a weapon that kills him in 3 hits or whatever.
Exactly.
There was no reason to weaken Rimuru. You could just make like do what Dragon Ball Z does. Don't weaken your characters. Just make everyone else ridiculously strong. Yeah, like just fuck power scaling. Just fuck it. Whatever. Everyone's Super Saiyan God now.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you guys should have taken some notes from Fairy Tail, but I actually really like their power scaling a lot because it's like, wow, normally Natsu can't kill this giant enemy that's going to, but he ate some toxic crystal that made him apeshit powerful, and they fight and he wins. But then he goes back to being not as strong.
Oh yeah, if they gave like the what's her name, Hinata? If they gave her some kind of like temporary buff that makes her as strong as Rimuru, and she's like an assassin, she's like, I have to kill you within 2 minutes or something like that.
Exactly.
I think that'd be fair. Like you can give her some draw. Like I don't know. I just don't like nerfing Rimuru or nerfing the other monsters in this village. Well, the monsters in the village, I guess that's fine. You can nerf them because they're not that strong to begin with. Compared to Rimuru, at least.
I don't want them to be nerfed if they're not that strong. Rimuru, I can. Like I said, nerf him, but like don't give her god weapon. But the others, I'm like, they're strong, but they're not like god tier busted characters. To the point where
they're literally getting killed by like humans with swords right now.
Literally, they're about to get they're literally about like their whole city was razed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all dead. Like, well, at least a lot of the civilians are dead. So, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Rimuru is not gonna be happy about that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I wonder if he's just gonna go like super slime or whatever.
I'm telling you, I want him to turn to a giant slime and just eat the whole fucking country. Just eat their whole country.
Not eat the whole country.
Eat the whole country. Instant 10 out of 10 if he does that. Just absorb all of them.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no. Also, I like Hinata. She's kind of an interesting character. I do like her.
Really? She seems like very typical. Like,
all right. Well, for slime, she's an interesting character.
Really, she's very like, oh no, you killed my teacher, must get revenge.
Well, her motive is basic, but like her as a character, like I like her little. She's kind of serious, but kind of aloof, and she's like, oh, I like good moves, and she's like mysterious. I don't know. I like her trope, I guess. Listen, compared to fucking sociopathic dude in the village, just I love killing people. I like Hinata.
I mean, neither of them are the more or less interesting to me. They're about the level of disinterest, but it's like with her, it's for her. It makes me bored about her. Just like he's also, clearly trying to.
I was gonna say I like that she tried to steal Ifrit.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I'm like, you clearly have enough intelligence that, and I hate this in anime in general. that you have enough intelligence that he's clearly trying to explain what happened, but you're like, no, I must get vengeance and kill you. And I'm like, why? But you could just stop for literally for 2 minutes, and like if you're about, you can kill him in one hit. You can listen to him give the reasons why, and if you're not convinced, you could just kill him with the one more hit.
To be fair, I wouldn't trust him. Like it depends who her source is. If she comes around and she's like, "Oh yes, my source was this demon lord," I'm gonna be like, "Ah, fuck you." But I don't know if she got like a good source and then she knows for a fact that he killed her teacher. I wouldn't like listen to him either. I'd just be like, "I'm just gonna kill you." So I can't blame her too much.
But like, don't you want to know why? It's like, don't you want to know why?
Not really. If someone killed you, I'd probably just kill them. Assuming we were in an anime, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would
in an anime.
In an anime.
But yeah, no, in most cases I'm like, there's like there's good reasons for shit. Like I feel like getting the answer to shit is important.
Well, you know she eventually will. It's not like unless
yeah.
Kills her. How badass would it be if Rimuru just kills her, goes back to the city, and kills everyone else? Or at least absorbs her. He should absorb her. Absorb her.
I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it at all. No, sorry.
Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what craziness Rimuru unleashes upon these idiots.
Same. Now, let's move on to Beastars Season 2, Episode 7.
Is this your episode of the week?
Yeah, I'm so... yeah, I'm gonna split it. Split it. Yeah, Jess, because the review... You know what's so funny?
Mm-hmm.
Literally right before it happens, I'm like, oh, it's him. And literally 2 days later, he's like, you're the killer, aren't you? And I'm like, what? Like, not me guessing it right before he says it. Because I'm like, I've never seen this bear character. I'm like,
yeah, he never showed up before, right? I'm like, because I saw him, I didn't think it was him, but when I'm stupid, because I saw him, and I'm like, I never saw a bear in this universe before, and I was like, oh, the bears, I didn't think it was him specifically, but I was like, a bear is probably the killer, because bears are super strong. And he was like, oh, it's me. I'm like, oh, I guess this makes sense. I should have suspected you immediately.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it took me like right before. So what gagged me is that I started to suspect him, and immediately my suspicions are confirmed. Like they just outright said it.
I'm kind of mad that did he really never show up before? I'm mad because it robs me of the opportunity to solve this mystery on my own.
Exactly.
That kind of sucks. I like my mayor theory.
But yes, it was not the mayor, unfortunately. Like I said, you can't maul someone if you don't have the teeth for it. And then the whole introduction with Pina. Well, not introduction, but the whole Pina just.
Oh yeah, Pina got some points this episode.
Yeah, he was. He was pretty badass. Because the way Homeboy was gonna get murdered, the way she was just gonna get straight up killed.
I mean, right in front of the nurse's office, though, like in the hallway of the school in daytime. I didn't
say it was the smartest thing, but Riz is clearly not smart. So,
oh my god, the way that they animated him though was so good. Like when Pina goes into the nurse's office and he's all pumped up, you just see him like just fade, like his fur's all fruffled,
like his eyes no longer look cute and cuddly.
Yeah,
like,
but then he's
murderous,
and then he just like slowly composes himself again. He's like, okay, I'm back to normal.
Yeah,
like his freak out moments are really actually scary. Like you can actually see the muscle definitions. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. And can we just talk about the weird homo? Once again, the weird homo.
Yeah, I was really uncomfortable
between like Riz and Tim, and I'm just like, I want to ship you, but you're about to eat him.
I'm really somehow this is making me more uncomfortable than all the Haru sex scenes in season 1. I'm like, damn, can we just go back to normal sex scenes?
I mean, well, Wait, hold on. How's this more uncomfortable? Hold on, they didn't fuck.
I would have felt less uncomfortable if they were just fucking.
I mean, same.
Because
yeah, I guess it's that
oh
whole,
yes, I get off on eating you.
It's like, I love you, I eat you. I love you, I eat you.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just felt like accepted by Tem. Also, he said there is a chance that some of that interaction was just like in his mind.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the whole last part where he's like, "We're best friends," and
oh yeah, where he was like, where he like ripped his arm and homeboy ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm also like, did Tem ever actually tell you to stop taking medication?
No, he was just like, it was a really bad train of thought.
Yeah, I was like, you should be your true self. So I stopped taking medicine.
What?
I'm like, what?
2 and 2 do not add up.
Yeah, and then before that, and I love, God, just how they introduced everything so well. Like, they brought up the whole, like, the I think it's a panther.
Mm-hmm.
The panther ripping off
that seems so
the guy's
good.
arm. I went to watch that twice because I was like confused. I was like, wait, what just happened?
I love how sudden and out of the blue it was, because it made it feel very real. Because when crazy shit happened, it's like you're not paying attention, and then something crazy happens behind you, and you're like, oh fuck! It felt like that.
And he's like, it wasn't. I didn't. Me too. And he has his arm in his hand still. That was freaking. And like I said, they're so good at humanizing all these characters because, like, everyone's freaking out, including the carnivores.
Yeah, and there's like I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, fucking Tony the Tiger is like, trying to calm down Tao, which he's like, no, it's okay, like, calm down. We're all scared.
Mm-hmm.
And which brings me back to my point. But I was gonna talk about Riz. Like, I love how they brought that back. The whole, like, carnivores just have such huge muscle, or the thick muscle definition, that they just rip off the arms of, like, of herbivores.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I love how they loop back to that when they, like, show Riz killing Tem.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I'll say something else I had to mention. Ripping off arms. I don't know. Oh yes. I enjoy how, like, even for each character, it's like, not only are these characters, like, humanized, like, everyone's reactions, even Riz's reactions, and how stupid and how, like, whatever he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, these are all kids. Like, they're all teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in addition to being animals. Because it's like, you could tell in the way that Riz is just like, oh, I'm just so, angry all the time or whatever, and the only thing calms me down is honey, and then I take the medication, and then I don't want to take the medication, because it makes me not feel good. Not really thinking about, clearly not thinking about the side effects, what can happen if he doesn't.
That and being overly attached to Tem from, like, just a little bit of conversation.
Yeah. Cause he's like, oh my god, someone who finally saw me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm somewhat think that those muscle restrictors, or whatever they're called, that inhibits muscle growth, I think there's something else in there as well that's supposed to, like, calm their bloodlust, but I don't think they know that.
Makes sense, because he is
Because
awfully
literally
aggressive.
the moment he stopped breaking arms, eating people. Like, it's a bit like that. Like, that's a drastic twist in, like, personality.
Yeah, it is. I can see that.
Yeah. So it's like, and yes, it was like a low key homoerotic, but it wasn't like so. It was just like I feel like he just wanted to be accepted. He felt that acceptance,
Yeah,
but
and he got it
very
from
much like
Fred.
Legoshi, he couldn't control his like bloodlust for some reason, and just like Legoshi, he confused his attraction for um his
Food.
hunting,
Hunting.
for his hunting
it's
instinct, especially his
a
hunting instinct.
it's a very
It's a very
running
thin
theme.
line.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's a running theme, but yeah, it is a thin. I guess a thin line for them. I would never confuse those two things. Like I said, I'm not into the whole food sex thing.
I mean, we're not like these kind of animals,
I
so
mean,
that's never a
listen,
thing.
I get the craving for some meat from time to time. All right.
Yeah, but you don't want to put your dick in a cow, like.
No, exactly. It's why I draw the
Okay,
line.
yeah.
I'm better at drawing the line than these two are.
I would think that most of us are. Not exactly like a feat that you accomplished. Wow, I'm not into fucking animals. Like, yes, congratulations, Oni. We're very proud of you.
Small steps.
Okay. But yeah, it was just a great episode. I don't know why this catches me the way it does
All the
every
episodes
week.
this season have been so fucking good.
They really have. Great job as always, Beastars. All right, let's talk about Lock Horizon. Talk Hokai.
Oh boy.
Well, so when I said, "Wow, most of these episodes are good this week," yeah, this was the exception.
I just saw it.
Wait, not the. Okay, so it wasn't bad. It's just everyone else was just
so much better.
Yeah,
like literally every other show had one of its best episodes of the season, and then this show was just like, it's Lock Horizon.
Yeah,
it doesn't help that it's focusing on the boring side plot now. Like the whole. Do you remember this part from the second season?
Oh, what, Krusty disappearing?
Well, besides Krusty disappearing, the other adventurers, Konami and them.
Absolutely not. I don't know who the fuck they are.
Exactly. I only remember because I just watched the second season. It's literally just a side plot of the Konami and her friends like running around I think it's the Chinese server.
Yeah, the Chinese server.
And they're just like doing adventures together. It's like aimless adventures. There's no point to their event. Like I assume now there's going to be a point because Krusty's going to meet up with them.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, let me pay attention because it's Krusty things, and I'm like, I miss Krusty.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm not a fan of these. I like Konami, but only because she's hot. Everyone else is kind of boring.
No, I like Krusty because he's such a he's such a dick. Fun. Like he's such a personality on the show. Like he kind of carried the episode. Look,
he did. His teasing and bribing the what is it, Squirrel Girl?
Yeah,
girl.
to go to the
village.
Go get the village to get some stuff for desserts. Like
it was really good.
It was great. It was about as subtle as like a bomb to the face. How this enchantress girl is just like, "Hey, you want me to help you with your stuff?"
It was like literally Orochimaru tier looking village.
I love Krusty. He took one look at that girl and was like, "No."
To be fair, I think everyone would have a brain cell would be like, I don't want you mixing any potions for me. No.
You know that's not true.
Go buy lady evil looking enchantress woman.
Yeah, you know that's not true, man. You definitely know that's not the case.
I know, but still. Like you couldn't look more evil if you tried.
Really can't.
It doesn't stop the other dude from falling for her.
Which is my point exactly.
Tell me more, evil enchantress woman who appeared behind me suddenly.
Yeah, she's like, help, I need help. There's something wrong. There's this random person.
I won't
Try
ask for any context on that situation. I'm just gonna go beat this
no
dude up.
context. I'm gonna believe you blindly. I'm gonna see him jumping around and without even asking why you're here, what you're doing. See, it's very much like he's gonna be very much giving me the Hinata energy. Except while he's even more stupid.
I will say one thing I did enjoy about this episode, and probably one thing that didn't make it as boring for me, is I like that they're presenting it as a play. I think that's cute.
That's so fucking weird.
It is, but it's somehow just a little bit more interesting than if they had just done like a flashback or recap or something.
That's fair, but it is all recap for the most part.
It is. I kind of wish I wish they played up the play more. Like you have like little interjections between the cast and stuff to make it more funny. But I mean, at least it's different. At least I get to see some Akatsuki.
Yes, you do, with her very ugly frog puppet.
Her beautiful frog puppet.
All right.
A very feminine looking frog puppet.
All right, that thing looks nice first try. But yeah, you know the crazy thing about Elias being all dumb and attacking Krusty for no reason?
What?
He wasn't even hypnotized at that point. She hypnotized her after. Like, he did all that on his own free will.
I was like, why do you even need a hypnotizer? He's so stupid. You just manipulate him.
You could have said it, right? Exactly.
Don't even waste your energy. Don't waste the MP.
So yeah, so now they're having this whole guild event where they have to do some ritual to get control of the land, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I'm hoping this one is fast. I hope this is a really quick arc, and then just go back to.
Yeah, it was like 2 episodes.
Yeah, please. And they did say like part 2 coming next. I'm like, all right, I hope that's the last file part.
Me too. Doubt it, but it'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Kumo desu ka Nanika, episode 7.
Another episode I really like.
Yes, back to anime that we did like.
Kumiko's little evil eye thing was cute, where she's like, "I have 8 eyes. I can get all the evil eyes."
Yeah, exactly. It felt very like middle schooler, and I love that.
I'm like, shit. Imagine if she had a Sharingan. She get like 8 Sharingans.
I mean, Homeboy had like 50, and that did not work out for him.
I forgot about
him. Excuse me. So yeah, her discovering her evil eye, it was very fun and entertaining. However, let's go back to the humans, or the humanoids. Cause honey, what happened there?
Oh, I don't trust this teacher.
Not at
I don't trust her at all.
Oh man, she is hiding something evil.
She's like, no, by the way, don't use any of your skill points or any skills.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't trust her. It's just like she's not. She's hiding.
Oh yeah, she's definitely hiding a lot.
Yes, she is. But she's like I don't.
I don't think she's evil.
I think she's not evil, but I definitely like. I'm sensing some gray, some slight manipulation, but she's like, I'm manipulating you guys for your sake.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you everything.
I feel like she works. Maybe this is me going out on a stretch. I feel like she works for the Demon Lord. She has like the ability to like literally erase people's ability. She pulled the fucking Aang move out of her. She's like, I'm taking all your power, Fire Lord Ozai.
Well, to be fair, I will say she could potentially learn it on her own because.
It's a broken ass skill.
I'm only saying that because, Kumoko has already, was able to peek at the code.
Mm-hmm.
And by peeking at the code, I think she's unconsciously cheating.
Yeah, she had like the administrator create a skill for her or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same type of thing.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that. She's just not aware of it. And I think the teacher, because she's no shade to Kumiko, she's like smarter, she's an adult. Like she's a teacher, like she's not dumb. So I think she realized she can manipulate the code in the game, and is just like, yeah, I can take away your abilities. Woo!
Yeah, and in doing so, you think she found out something about the inherent abilities and stuff that they have, or something? Like, oh man, shit, man, the more skills you get, I don't know. I feel like the more skills you get, maybe the more corrupt you get, or something.
Like, I think because they're so young, they might just be like impressionable to the power.
Well,
At
least one of them is.
Yeah, I mean, case in point.
Yeah. This isn't Japan. We can be crazy sociopaths here, bruh.
Yeah, so I feel like she realizing that a lot of this power left unchecked can just make them not the greatest of people because they're still like kids.
Yeah, I have my eye on her though.
Yeah, me too. Because I feel like you can guide. I feel like you can guide them. Like you still let them have skills. Because I think them being able to defend themselves is like the most important.
Yeah.
Because as they said, she's like 4 died, and I'm like, oof, like damn, that actually kind of sucks. And it's like, does she know about Kumiko and the rest of them?
I feel like she does.
I feel like she does, and then this is where I don't trust her because I'm like, I think she does.
Maybe she's giving Kumiko those skills.
Huh?
Maybe she's helping Kumiko
by giving her those skills to help her survive.
That could be it. Shit.
Yeah, I like this episode because it made us very much like it made me question a lot of things.
Yeah, I kind of like where the how everything is unfolding. Like now we have that other mysterious woman who showed up at the end of episode 2, where she was just like, "I'm here to help you. I'm not suspicious at all."
Oh, she's definitely. I think she's been working for a Demon Lord.
Oh yeah, for 100%. Yeah. But also, we also have crazy religious girl who keeps coming up, and it's just like, remember, slaughter all the infidels. Bye. I'm like, oh, she's definitely gonna come up later on and be homicidal maniac. So
yeah,
keep my eye on her.
Can't wait.
Oh god, I hope Faye kills her. I'll show you Taboo.
We got a Taboo right here. Nah. Yeah, no, it was a good episode. Hugo really tried it. Hugo really I knew he was gonna go to he was already in the dark side, but I didn't expect this episode. He was just like, I'm going to beat and kill everyone just to assassinate you.
Yeah,
because I'm the best, and I'm like, what?
Not the smartest plan.
Not the smartest plan, which I guess, which is, I think that's the whole danger of getting the skills. Like, they really make you think that you can just get away with killing a prince.
Yeah, I was like, hey, that's the other thing. I was like, he's pretty high up on the ladder too. You can't just kill another prince.
Yeah, I was much confusion about that, but whatever. He won't be killing much people. Well, we don't know that.
Well, I definitely feel like this girl's gonna kill him. It's definitely gonna be a moment where he's like, oh, I'm gonna get my revenge, and then while he's laughing, she's gonna stab him through the back.
Yeah, she's like, all right, thanks, kid, and then take him out, which I would be so happy with.
Yep, I'm definitely cool with that.
100% okay with this. All right, let's cover our last. Is that our last anime of the night?
It is.
Last anime of the night. Higurashi, episode 20. My second episode of the week.
Same. I'm making this my other episode.
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I looked at you all crazy.
I forgot for a minute. That's why.
Because you didn't even split. It would be one thing if you said I'm splitting it, because then I would know you picked this one. But you said, oh, just Attack on Titan. I'm like, girl.
I forgot. It wasn't on my screen. I scrolled down.
Wait, no. I'm going to quickly go through the episode just to point out certain things. Very interesting. I did not expect to see, a world where Sotoko and Rika are no longer friends.
Sad.
That was sad. Very crazy. Yeah. Homegirl went through it. Man. She literally got sent.
I'm still mad the school has a prison.
She got sent to prison. I mean, why didn't you just expel her?
Yeah, or like suspend her or something. Or you could just lock her in her room. Like she has a door. You could just lock her in the door.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I was the principal, I definitely would just expelled her for
Yeah,
that.
I
Like
would.
you
Yeah,
pulled a prank that like
you literally got
like,
someone hurt. Yeah,
yeah, like they're bleeding. Yeah, I'm like the ones I see blood, I'm like, yeah, you gotta
and
go.
you're already a bad student that doesn't like get good grades. I'm like, oh yeah, no,
Exactly. Yeah, there's no reason for you to be here. Goodbye. Uh, love you though. Um, and then just the immediate switch up on Rika's part. Yeah, these past 2 episodes, especially this episode, was just like, yeah, we actually don't. It's like, damn, Rika, I really wanted to like feel pity for you, but now I'm like, you low key deserve to get those
Yeah,
vibes.
that one line that she had where she's like, "Listen, Satoko, I'll make some time for you this afternoon." I was like, "Ooh, Satoko, you need to slap shut. She needs to be humbled."
When she told her to like silence, like
Quiet. It would behoove you to behave appropriately.
yeah, like yeah. So that was very ugh.
Yeah, no.
But
Sorry,
nah,
Rika.
yeah. Although could have Satoko handled it much better from literally like the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. But Rika definitely did not help either in any way, shape, or form.
Also, didn't visit her friend in jail. That could have,
I don't think visitors were
or at
allowed.
least like ask or something. I
Yeah,
don't know. Or like when Satoko gets out, be like, "Oh, Satoko, how how's jail? How was jail?"
exactly. Like literally anything. But no, she said, "Oh, you're no longer in my life."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then they're just waiting with all that space in between them. So awkward.
Yeah. Oh, and the fake knee
Sad.
pause.
Then when she starts doing Nipa, yeah, that triggered me.
Yeah, and then Satoko just like,
Yeah, watching Satoko look at her being like, "Oh, I know that. I felt for Satoko."
mm.
All right, so we got. Oh yeah, and then everyone played games. It was all fun. Yeah, yeah, whatever. Did
Neon
whatever.
fan service.
Neon fans were happy, living for the pantsuit. Okay,
Yep.
spoilers. As we're about to. I'm like, bitch. I have like the whole car. No, no, that's not
Let
much.
me
Well,
pull
it's
up
not much.
the Umineko wiki real quick.
Like the whole, like those boards that you have like thumbtack on, and
The
like all
conspiracy
the
board, the
string.
strings, yeah.
So the episode ends with you find out that the person who was pulling the strings behind Satoko's looping wasn't fucking Lambda. It was Feathering all along.
Dun dun
Yeah. And
dun.
you know what fucked me up the most? They definitely gave us a little bit of a crumb all the
Mm-hmm.
way in the beginning. That scene where Feathering was there was definitely on purpose.
Yep.
Gagged, absolute gagged. When I tell you, I screamed. I screamed, and then like my throat, like my voice, like went away. Like it was like a soundless scream.
Mm-hmm.
Like very, very. Do you remember Hinamatsuri, like the anime with the
Yeah,
psychic
yeah,
girl?
yeah.
And she's like, like that was me. That was me.
I first I didn't even think about Featherine. I'm like, oh, there's an older looking on you, and then they kept panning up, and I saw like the metal on her chest, and I was like, oh shit, Featherine! That's crazy.
It was Feathering all along. Holy shit.
So what if Satoko is Lambda?
No. Wait. No.
But
No. No. Land already existed at this point.
mm,
Land already existed.
I guess. But what if it's a prequel?
No, see, I told you. I didn't I tell you that theory.
Did you? I don't remember.
I think I shared that, or someone shared that with me. Like, oh, this is all a prequel to the original Higurashi, and I'm like, the answer is no,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
because it literally left off from the last episode where Homegirl got caught. So like, So unless
Let's go back in time.
it's the same, unless she found the same get out of jail free card twice, exact same way, and then she got thrown back in the loop, but she doesn't remember how she got the first time.
Exactly, and then she can still be in the.
Oh my god, was my friend right?
My
My friend told me everything that's happening is a prequel, and I'm just like, what? And then that kind of freaks me out.
So now my mind is doing like the Matrix thing. I'm trying to figure out, like, trying to connect the dots. I'm like, is it a prequel? Is there any scenes that feel disjointed? Like, because technically,
but it's like, but my thing is, I feel like it's still not prequel because people keep getting their memories from the original. From the other
that's true.
That's
true. Damn,
so it's like
I can't find a way to work around it. I was gonna say maybe technically these are two different stories. Like maybe this is like the timeline we're seeing now is the original timeline, and then the looping starts. But no, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't make any sense.
Exactly. So. So yeah, I still like. Yeah, it wouldn't make any. It wouldn't make any sense.
My prequel theory has been killed.
Yeah, like I had to talk to my friend about that and be like, yeah, you need to break that down for me, because how and why.
Yeah, I'll return next week with more prequel theories. But yeah, no, this opens a whole new Pandora's box or a cat box of different issues or like possibilities for which direction the series can go.
Nice, nice Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
I had to mention it, or else no one would be like, everyone would be like, Oni, what the fuck are you talking about a cat spot?
And I would tell them to go read Umineko, which you might have to.
Okay, yeah. So everyone who hasn't seen Umineko, they're all like, huh? Because it's like, and you have to read Umineko. Like, you can't even like watch the anime.
The anime is trash.
It's trash, and it also didn't get that far when they talked about Feathering. Feathering was like what story? Like the 7th story?
Like 7th or 8th, yeah.
Yeah.
And the anime only went up to the episode 4.
Exactly. I have a prediction. I feel like after this, they're gonna go back to Umineko. I feel like they're gonna do the rest.
I was thinking that too, like reboot of Umineko, which I would love. And Orion pointed out
5 to 8.
Really?
I would love it. I would love if they did. I would love to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I feel like they might make a original story that might be like the in between Higurashi and Umineko. Like maybe it's just me wanting it, but like maybe them following Lambda and Burn or something in other fragments.
I would love that.
Only because I don't know if they had to do it Umineko, like they would have to reboot it because they can't, like episodes 1 through 4 are so trash.
Or you say don't have to, but there's some anime that exists that shouldn't have ended.
If they get a reboot of Umineko, though, God, that's like my dream anime. Please, Passione. Orion mentioned Passione doesn't have any anime projects listed. Let me look them up real quick. So that means that they don't have they don't have anything coming up, which means that likely at the end of this season of Higurashi, there'll probably be like an announcement for another season or like a new series or something.
Oh yeah, well, definitely season 2.
Yeah, oh for sure, because there's no way they open up a box that ain't gonna be closed in 5 episodes.
Exactly. Like this just became like the Avengers, but anime.
Yeah, they just like link together all the different worlds in the When They Cry-verse.
Exactly, which I'm here for because it's all filled with destruction and sadness.
Exactly.
Ah,
God, if next episode starts and we get like any burn or something, I'm fucking lose my mind. Or like Lambda shows up or some shit.
Oh my god, please do.
Like it just like Satoko looks up and it pans over to Lambda Delta. I'm like, ah!
Did Lambda ever make her appearance in the original Higurashi?
No.
Oh, okay. Sure. But alright. I think Was there anything else to add?
Nope, that's all I
All
have to say.
right. All right. So for our pillow arc this episode, I came across this very interesting tweet. So it was actually a retweet of an original tweet. It was one of those like, oh, name an anime opinion that will give you this reaction, and it shows the Kakashi dude from Jujutsu Kaisen being surrounded with a bunch of like swords.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
And and Oni, if you want to look at it, you can just pull it up on Twitter. I bookmarked it.
Yeah. I'm pulling it now.
So I'm not gonna say who it is because I'm just like not trying. I am not trying to direct anyone to anywhere for any reason. But person says, what is, like, they retweet the whole like unpopular anime post, and they say, what is the punchline when perverted characters sexually assault another character for comedic value? Now I have a very quick answer for that. For me, what I like it is when they are immediately punished. I like the fact that yes, it's like a weird, like funny humor that's attached to it, but for me, it's resolved, or it's not. The creepiness is removed when they're immediately punished because it like sends a message that don't be a fucking pervert.
Yeah,
period.
I think that's a really good answer actually. I'm trying to because if they don't get, I'm trying to think of a situation where they don't get punished and it's still funny, but I can't really. Because then it just becomes like a sexual tension, creepy moment, or like a hentai.
Or hentai. If you want that nasty shit in your hentai, then like, buy hentai away. But I think it's different if you put it into like an anime. Where it's like meant for worldwide.
It's a I would say like a slapstick thing. Yeah, like you do something bad and you get hit. And you get
that's why I like ecchi comedy. That's why I only like ecchi when it's funny for the most part, because shit like that happens all the time. That's not like the only way it can be funny. Like there's other ways where it can be funny, but not totally creepy. Like for example, you look at reviewers. It's just consenting beings having sex with each other.
And even then, like a lot of the comedy comes from like Krim being awkward and like not getting it and stuff. So there's like, as long as there's a punchline that isn't creepy.
I just look at reviewers doesn't count, because specifically when perverted characters sexually assault another character for comedic value.
Yeah.
So that doesn't. It's just look at reviewers isn't that. It is an ecchi and it is a comedy, but it doesn't really pertain to this. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. But then she brings up Jobless Reincarnation. And yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Last week was the first time I was like, oh, I'm actually not okay with, like, this made me uncomfortable.
Is it the Rudy? You mean the Rudy scene where he tries to pull out her panties?
Yes. I'm like, oh, I was like, because it's
well, to be fair, he does get punched. He gets.
You're right. And he does get punched. He gets punched in the face for that. But it's like that. Most like, so remember when we a previous filler arc, when I was talking about what needs a trigger warning? That scene needs a trigger. That scene needed a trigger warning. That scene, because like there are unfortunately victims who have literally had that shit happen to them. So I'm like, I can totally see a character doing that to like another girl being completely triggering for her. Like it's one thing to be like, haha, I flipped up your wind comes up and oh my god, my skirt, or like, oh, I get to see her boobs. Oh, like, but this is like, I don't know. That was like straight up sexual assault, and I was just like, oh, I don't know. It disturbed me. I was like, that the act itself disturbed me. Compound that on with the fact that this is a 44-year-old man. I don't give a shit. He could literally be a dog doing this. But it's like, you are a 44-year-old man doing this. Bro.
See, that I argue that's the point. Like, that's why, like, Rudy's a creepy jerk that also takes after his creepy jerk father. So, like, with that scene, I viewed it as less a comedic moment and more of just like a, oh yeah, this is Rudy's character. Like, he can be charming and smart and powerful, but he's also like a sleazy womanizer that just like sexually assaults women sometimes. Like, it's more of a characterization thing for me. But yeah, I get that could be a bit
yeah, but I feel like they don't treat it like that because they treat it like it's a slapstick moment. I'm like, I did not feel haha in that moment. I felt very ill. I felt very ick. I was like, ugh, like I had a very visceral reaction when I saw that. Like, it was like I said, it was the first time in watching this anime I actually felt uncomfortable. Like with the other anime, the redo of a healer, it's like I already know that anime is trash and basically hentai. So it's like I already kind of just file that away and don't care about it. But like this anime, like, it's good, but like,
I predict that, like, yeah, Rudy's just, like, he tried to get an aphrodisiac. Like, the whole thing with Rudy, he's a pervert. Like, he tried to get an aphrodisiac. The whole half the episode was him trying to drug her to fuck her.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rudy's sleazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's some moments that I think needed a little, like, you can treat with a little brevity. Like, you can treat some things like a slapstick. You can't treat that like that's a slapstick. That is not something that triggering to to an audience.
I mean, I guess it comes down to relatability and sensitivity to it. Like, I viewed it as more extreme than like him groping her, but I wasn't so like, oh no, this is crossing a line. Kind of just, I don't know, it's just one of those things. I guess it comes down to personal tolerance. Like, how much are you willing to?
It does, but I feel like it's, this is not saying, oh my god, this is snowflake territory.
Well, I mean, but like, there's things that trigger me in anime that you'd be like, I don't fucking care about that shit.
Okay, but like one is like, I don't know, because it like, one is a very personal, like, oh, like, I don't like bugs and blah 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 blah. They're like,
well, that's just like bugs are also triggering. That was referring to something like for example, I don't know. What if you're like a person who like got cheated on by your wife or something, and then you get triggered whenever there's like a character in an anime who just like sleeps around or something, and you're like reminded of your wife cheating on you, like, and that triggers you or something. Like, that's a personal thing that you might get upset over, and it's pretty common for that to happen to people.
Yeah, but this is like a promotion of violence.
I wouldn't call it like, it does not. It's not saying this is a good thing to do. Like, he gets.
Sorry, it's a trivialization of the violence that I'm not okay with. Like I said, they like, haha, wow, you pulled out 44-year-old man.
Well, I can use that same argument. Like, if there's an anime with a character that sleeps around, like, this is a trivialization of relationships.
Excuse me.
I don't know. I just feel like it comes down to your personal. Like, no matter what you do, there's going to be different things for different people that, like, I'm sure, to be on a more serious note, if I was like a war victim, like if I grew up in a country where I was in civil war, my parents died from war, and I watched Attack on Titans episode where Eren goes around killing all these kids, I'd probably get triggered by it.
Okay, but the thing is, they don't treat that as a slapstick. They're not just like, haha, we kill all these children, they're all dead. This is so funny, guys. Next scene. No, they treat it with like, no,
I'm pretty sure I can find an anime where they kill a bunch of kids and it's treated as a joke too.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure I can find an anime where they blow something up and treat it as a joke.
I'm sure they can. Like, i.e., like Dokuro-chan, but the Dokuro is like, that's meant to be stupid. Like, that's not, Like there's like anime that have a certain quality that
But like I don't know, like because he does get like it follows your rule if he does something sleazy and he gets beaten up for it.
Excuse me, but I don't. And I'm like I said, I'm fine with him getting punched. Like I said, it just like the depth, like the depth of it, like I don't know. It's like because it's like, bro, it's like pedophilia. Like,
Well,
like
that's
it's
arguable because he's in a child's body.
I
So
don't care. He has a mind of a 44-year-old. That don't mean shit to me. That don't mean shit to me. He has a he's in a he has a
I feel like we're getting into some very
I
now we're gonna get into some very philosophical. So are we using mind as the standard? Is any porn with Rika not considered lowly because she has the mind of a 500-year-old witch?
That is a good point.
Anime logic.
But it's not pedophilia. Like she's like you're right. She doesn't have like it's you like learning this very young looking girl.
But she's still like a 9-year-old girl and has the body of a 9-year-old girl.
She has a body of a 9-year-old girl, but she's like mentally a million.
Interesting.
Like I'm okay
See,
with
because for me, I'm more of like I mean I guess there's a mental aspect to it too, but
because the whole point when it comes to like pedophiles like grooming and manipulating kids is the fact that they are smarter and older, so it's easier for them to take advantage of said children. That's the whole reason why it's fucked up, besides the fact that they're adults and children.
see, I would also
Like,
argue the physical aspect of them like just being physically overpowering the kids too. Like yeah, there's a lot of elements to it. But I would say that the physical aspect is more of a thing for me.
excuse me. And I would understand that, but like clearly like they're really hanging on to that fact that he's basically an adult in a kid's body, which means it's like I'm not saying I'm not even saying you need to be into older women. I'm not saying yeah you must date 44-year-old woman because that also makes sense given the circumstances. But it's like dude, dude, you are like it's not like I said, like you are pulling down her, like you are the 44-year-old man pulling down like the panties of like a girl who is physically and mentally 12. Like what? Like it's not even like you trying to romance her or something, which would be weird because family. Also, yeah, it's weird because family. The fuck?
What's their relation? They're like third cousins or something. They're pretty far removed.
Oh, okay. I mean, like that's fine, but I mean that's still weird to me. Even for me, that'd still be weird. Like
it's the middle. It looks like the Middle Ages. I can figure that.
Yeah, and like
half the world is your cousin or something.
Yeah. So. So yeah, that was the first one that she mentions, and I'm just like I kind of agree because there's like slapstick, and then there's like fun stupid slapstick moments, and then there was that moment which did not.
I kind of excuse that one
slapstick at all.
I kind of excuse that one because I think it was like a dual moment of it trying to like it being a serious character moment, but it trying to lighten it with like comedy. Like I still think it served a purpose. It wasn't just like fan service or something.
Yeah. I agreed. It served to show like this guy is scummy. I mean, he could have done it just by like hitting on an older woman, but and not like yeah. That's like it's like ooh, like girl, you're turning from as like your grade's becoming a lot more black. Like I don't know. Excuse me. To me, it was like I'm gonna be honest. Like if they have like another moment like that, I might not be able to watch this anime because I'm just like I can't keep holding my breath watching this.
I will say this because I did read ahead in the manga. I didn't catch up yet, but there are moments like that. But there are also moments the other way. Like it's a pretty well written manga. I'll put it that way. Eris does a couple of things that are very everyone is gray.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish they kind of touched up on like the fucked upness, because it's like, you know, you and I can be like, oh yeah, that's kind of because reasons.
Mm.
And then, you know, this person who did the requote, apparently quoting someone else in one of their tweets, was like, and I quote, "We all want to fuck lollies, so don't be hypocritical." And I'm like, how do you reduce that moment to just that sentence that you just said, which it blows my mind. That blows my mind, and it doesn't make any sense. I It's like it's just one of those things where once again it's just like, I don't think we need to like I don't think any series per se needs to they don't need to rely on scenes where shit like that goes down to be like, this person is not a good like human being. Personally, I
But
don't think
I
you
would argue the
can.
fact that
It's like,
it's triggering this reaction out of you does mean it's a good job of proof. Like that's the thing. The effectiveness is measured by how much like if they did like if he was hitting on Jelaine and did this, you'd just be like, ah, what a sleazy character. But the fact that he did it to this extent, you're like, whoa, shit, he's a real shitty character. Like it's more effective at showing how shitty of a character he is.
it is. And it's not even that. Like I said, maybe if it was coupled with like a more like a bigger response to those moments. It's like either make him kind of pervy and then punish him for it, or like something like that happens and he really gets called out on his shit. Because I'm just like that. I don't know. To me, that was just like a whole new level. Like I've seen a lot of ecchi where like the main character or side character really ain't shit. Which, by the way, as we're gonna go down, we're going to touch up on a few examples of how some people in these comments feel about what and whether or not you and I agree. But yeah, there are like some examples where they're like, this is a pervy character, but they just get their ass beat, and I'm like, oh, I am okay with this. Like, and it was funny. Yeah, this was just, yeah. Like I said, it just struck a chord with me. And like I said, like it struck a chord with me, and I'm like, I can only imagine how someone who was like a victim of like sexual assault saw that and was just like, nope, and just had to like had to say nope to his anime. You know, it's just one of those things. It kind of creeps back to like what I said about Redo of a Healer, where I'm like, you don't have to like rely on rape for like to prove your point. Like, it's like, I already knew this guy was a shitty person. That's the thing. I already knew this dude was great and not good.
I don't know. I don't want to limit. Like, here's my thing. I don't want to limit. Like, art is supposed to, like, all right, we're gonna be broad now, but art is supposed to get a reaction. I don't want to be like, well, you can't include rape scenes because that's gonna trigger people, and you can't do the death can be violent, but it can't be too realistic because that's gonna trigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, things might offend you at certain points and certain times, but that just means it's most of the time, or at least.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is when I think a trigger warning would be good. Like, don't throw someone into the mix without something that visceral, and you're just like, oh well, ... You know how it was already. I'm like, no, do a trigger warning. Like, you lose nothing from doing that.
My whole, like I said, my thing with trigger warnings, like I said, it just relates to the personal thing. Like, it's a personal thing.
Yeah, it's a personal thing, but like
there are certain things I would be offended by that you would never put a trigger warning for, and there's certain things that.
Unfortunately, sexual assault is like a big thing. Like,
but also now you're saying certain triggers are bigger than other triggers. I don't think that's fair.
Like, not bigger, but more common.
Depends who you're talking to. Some people are just more vocal about it. I guarantee there's a lot of things that trigger a lot of people and they just don't say shit about it.
There's a lot more people who have not talking about their sexual abuse, unfortunately. But So I'm losing my train of thought. Like, unfortunately, it's more likely of someone might have. It's unlikely that someone has to like relive a trauma associated with like, for example, in their case, with like a bug, and when I say relive a trauma, I'm saying the trauma has to be equal to like a trauma sexual assault. So I'm not saying, oh my god, I saw a big bug and it looked ugly and it flew around me and I got scared and stuff. I'm like, saw the bug, it attacked me, bad shit happened. I need therapy for this shit because that is the extent of like most sexual assaults. Like yeah, traumas exist in different forms, but sexual assault, like more often than not, they are like that shit is very, 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 very deep and can cause a very illicit response. Like not illicit, sorry, cause a very powerful response in someone. I'm sure if I saw you with like stuff with like bugs, you're probably at worst you're gonna turn the shit up, kind of think about it for a little while, get creeped out about it. And
Oh, but here's the thing. All right, so let's do it the other way around. If I had a trigger thing with like, I don't know, well, since we're using bugs, let's say bugs. There's like a show we're watching, and they have a whole arc where it's just like, what was that one anime? It was like Insect Island or something, where all these characters get raped by bugs, but like that.
Oh god,
yeah, which was also triggering because they're getting raped by bugs. But
yeah.
So if it was something like that, right? And I came out and was like, "Whoa, I can't watch. This is triggering me," or something. Like, I can't watch this. Maybe not you, but a gigantic portion of people, and I probably feel like you too, would just be like, "Grow up, get over it. It just bugs. Fuck off. We're watching this." Or like, if I get triggered by like a more common things, like people get triggered by horror. They don't really like horror. Like horror for some people, like they can't watch it because it fucks with them psychologically. But then they get told like, "Oh, fuck up, like grow up, watch horror." You're like, I don't know. Like I feel like the standard is either like just ignore it or don't watch it if you don't like it, or now we have to appeal to everybody who can be possibly emotionally hurt or offended by something in some way. Like I don't know if there's a middle ground between that.
Hey guys, so sorry about that. So technical difficulties. You know the vibes.
Blame Optimum offline again.
Yes, Sasuga Optimum offline. I'm so sorry, Oni. Could you please continue your train of thought with the rapey bugs?
So the rapey bugs, right? So people, like I said, if that's something that triggers me, right? But I feel like maybe not you specifically, although I do feel like maybe you too. But the majority of people, if I were to say like, "Oh, I'm not watching that. That's I don't like that," you'd be like, "Oh, grow up. Stop being offended by. Stop being a baby."
Okay, but you said this was like what, a hentai?
Well, I was saying that well, it's not hentai. It's technically in manga or anime. In the same way Redo of a Healer is an anime.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of fucking gross.
It is gross. But to make it a more reasonable example, there's a lot of, for example, people who are triggered by horror films where they don't like horror because that like they can't sleep at night because they watch horror and it hurts like it's psychological.
That's
and then
true,
people tell them like,
it's a horror movie.
But the same mentality applies. If you're with somebody and they're like, "Oh, I can't watch horror," the first thing you'd be like, "What? Are you a baby? Grow up." It's just a movie.
No, it's not. It's not the same. If someone doesn't like horror, I'm not gonna be like, "Yes, watch horror," even though it's the thing that you don't like.
I feel like, well, let me
toxic behavior from the boomer generation, which I do not.
I don't think it's necessarily from. I'm telling you right now, a lot of millennial and
which they learned from boomers.
But I don't. But that's the thing. I don't think this is necessarily a toxic behavior. I think it is one where it's like you might be overly coddling people if you're like I get it if it's something real. Like if you're like, I'm gonna watch. Here's a movie that has actual murder, like a smut film or something. Then yeah, obviously, don't do that. But if it's just like an animated show or like a horror movie where everything's fake, I feel like it's overly coddling to be like, whoa, this is, we need trigger warnings and we need to hold people's hands.
I mean,
for
it's
this.
okay, but it's but
Like, it could be
may be
it
fake,
could be
but it's a
offensive.
cartoon of the action happening. Like that doesn't. It's like
I said, like I'll get through it the next day. Like I can watch an anime that'll offend me or like trigger me, and then I'll be like, in the moment I'll be like, man, I'm upset, but then like the next day I get on my life. Like it's not that
okay. So and I'm telling you right now, and that's my whole point. That is not what happens to like, victims of sex abuse. They don't just, oh wow, that really upset me. Da da da. Like this trauma kind of follows them for life. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, but like the trauma that happened doesn't go away. It's the same situation. Like that trauma still exists.
I know it exists. I'm aware it exists outside.
But it's not like, it's not the anime's fault. Like you're gonna get reminded of it another. Like it's not the anime that's doing it. The same way, like
at that.
But all right, but it's not causes. Like it's like I said, if I have a thing that triggers me, for example, with the bugs, that has to do with my own issue with bugs. It has nothing to do with the anime that shows the bugs. It's not like I stop watching the anime that deals with the bugs. My whole issue is solved, and I can like go through life with my eyes closed to bugs. Like at a certain point, you got to confront the fact that bugs exist or whatever. I don't think it has to do with the anime. Like I don't want to turn into therapy. I don't want this to be a therapy thing. It's an animated show.
It's not. It doesn't have to be a therapy thing. They don't have to. But see, that's the thing. You're conflating it. You're saying a trigger. You're conflating a screen that says this has trigger warning for following things, list things, anime goes. Like we're not gonna have a 5-minute like debrief session. We're all gonna hold our hands and be like kumbaya.
No, my issue is the standard across the board. Like if you're gonna do it for people who are sensitive to those issues, you have to do it for people who are sensitive to other issues. So we're gonna have a trigger warning every time we talk about, I don't know, a show that has to deal with romantic breakups for people who get triggered by that type of thing. We're gonna have to do trigger warnings for people who are triggered by violence in general because maybe they have dealt with some violence in their life.
There are like that kind of exists in a lot of shows already, which is like my point. Like they're like, wow, this show has extreme.
You mean like a rating system?
Not rating system. Well, aside the rating system, but no, there'll literally be a screen that says this show has.
I've never watched an episode of like any anime where it came up with a screen.
Not anime, but like it exists, like in media in general, like that.
I have not seen any, unless it's something like where it's based on a true story or something. I've not seen anything like that. Like fictional media.
I'm pretty sure that warning comes up literally for like Walking Dead because it's really just guts and killing everywhere all the time.
That show depicts extreme violence. I mean, like that's just a general warning that the show depicts.
Why can't we have that for?
Because it's not the same. Like that warning is pertaining to like, hey, if there's kids in the room who you don't want to see zombies get their brains blown out, make sure they're not watching. That's a general like content warning. What you're describing is putting up warnings for things that trigger people, which then we get into a whole can of worms of like, well, that's an individual by individual basis.
Okay, then let's take it a step back. Then do you think we at least deserve a warning in general saying it includes, because it's like that has never happened to me, and I also did not like seeing that.
I don't know, because like, all right, going back to that exact situation, that exact example with Rudy, I saw that scene and I was like, oh, all right. Like,
yes, we're not doing this for people who are clearly okay.
Okay, but then there's other scenes where I would be like, ugh, and it would offend me, and then you would be like, all right. Cool.
But no, I do. Okay, and once again, I think yes. Even if you may not agree, I guess this is where we agree. I would say things that are more generally not okay. Yes, they deserve a warning. They deserve a warning. Generally not okay.
Define generally not okay. We cover a lot of shows that have to deal with cheating. And what if I'm generally not okay with cheating?
okay, depictions of things that are sexual not okay. Like depictions of sexual abuse are not okay. Like, yes, we get upset at the morality of watching people cheat, and that is, that's like, oh, like this guy sucks because he's cheating on blah blah blah, whatever. Like for example, with Paul,
Yeah, it's like say
and
the thing with Paul upset me more than anything else in the show. Because that
and
drives home closer to me. I'm like, oh, what a shithead. He's in being shitty to his awesome wife.
yeah, and I don't.
Whereas the
And I
whole
don't
thing
like
with
it either,
Rudy,
but
like,
that's not.
it
But
didn't
that's
even.
like there's a difference between
But
like
that's the thing.
seeing a
It differs
story
from person
of
to
it
person.
happening. There's a difference of seeing something that's happening, like, oh yeah, like this is a story of the, and then watching an act depicting a specific
They didn't
thing
even
that
show
we
a
know.
panty shot of or anything. He just literally went under her
What, they
skirt.
definitely show her.
They didn't show her panties.
They didn't show her panties.
They didn't show it. They showed her like leggings, but they didn't show her panties.
Really? Because when they saw the panties. Okay. Even though you know exactly what was going down,
You get
but
that idea of what's going
like
down.
you definitely know what's happening. Period. Like yeah, them having the panties or not didn't really change how I feel. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just how Oni and I feel about the situation.
True.
I'm only stopping it because we're definitely I feel like we're gonna
7
we're gonna keep
hours
looping
later.
back and forth, and I do kind of want to go down the list a
Uh,
little bit because there's some examples that they bring up. People. Okay, so I wish I looked this up prior before we did this, but people bring up Seven Deadly Sins a lot. I don't know what that scene is about, but they're like apparently like when the character is like just such a creep and it's like, let's see. I know that. So
see, this thread is
they bring
triggering
up,
me because they're bringing up all my favorite shows, so I don't like these people anymore.
do you like Seven Deadly Sins?
No, I never see that. But I see
Oh,
somebody bringing up Haruhi.
okay.
I see people bringing up high school Hero Academia with Mineta.
Yeah. Haruhi groping. I mean, at the time, it
Scientific
didn't really do anything.
really?
It didn't do anything for. It didn't do anything for
Railgun?
me. Railgun, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
That one, I don't. I no, like I don't. I'm looking for it and I can't find it in my mind. But yeah, Haruhi kind of is grabbing up on girls.
Well, that's her whole thing. She's socially awkward and frisky.
Yeah, but like, I see how.
See, this is. I don't want to go into the area of being a prude about things and being like, ugh, no, we are not allowed to do anything sexual in our shows.
Excuse me. I'm just saying, with her, I would have maybe liked if she just got like, like, I don't know, punched in the face. Like
wow, you're okay
like
with violence
because it's like, yeah, that's kind of random that she's just going up and groping Mikuru like all the time. It's like, it's one thing if she groped her and then like someone punched her in the head, like, hey, stop groping Mikuru. But if you take that out, then it just turns into like that moment where it's just like, yeah, sexual gratification time for male audience. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, all right, so this is where I'm gonna get controversial. I don't mind that. Like, it's part of the fun, I guess, for that show. Like, I don't mind the show just being like, haha, stupid comedy and. Like, I don't think every show has to be a
like yeah. I think that while I think I understand why they bring it up, I think there is a because this is where things I think it gets lost on a lot of people. The whole the concept of nuance it gets lost on people a lot. I feel like I'm one of 10 people who can kind of get it because it's just like. Yeah, I kind of get how people can feel about the groping. It's not 44-year-old and a 12-year-old trying to like, basically like molest his cousin 3 times removed. It's a far moment, and and it's not like I don't know. Well, at least I don't remember because I haven't watched Haruhi. It's not like she's like, yeah, you like me when I grab your little titties, dirty little bit. Like
Well, some
she's
of the
just being
I've seen.
exactly. That's like that's like a Dojin thing, but like
Mm.
she's not grabbing them to be like, yeah, I'm fucking feeling you up. Like she's
Mhm.
like drooling, rubbing up on her. She's just doing the trope of girls like, oh my god, like you're a girl and boobs. And we're both girls, boobs. Which, if we want the whole conversation doing that for like the sake of the male gaze, I'm like that could be a whole nother conversation for another day. But in regards to this, on like the scale, it's like, okay, there's that and there's what I said about Redo over Healer. And then there's like a lot of stuff in between.
Yeah.
So it's like that the Haruhi thing is like, I get it, but also it's not definitely has been a lot of worse shit that I've seen. They bring up Fire Force, which I didn't.
I guess because of
Tamaki, which I mean, there's no that doesn't really apply to this because there's no pervert character trying to strip her all her clothes. Like she just loses all her clothes. I do exist. I say I do exist. I would say that I do think it's kind of lame that that's literally her whole existence is that, and without her she would not exist. So I think I can critique them for like shitty character design, but that's like whatever. But yeah, I never saw Railgun. They bring up Mineta. Oh, here we go. They bring up Mineta from My Hero Academia.
I don't even remember what Mineta does. Everyone keeps bringing
Yeah,
Mineta. He just
and he just does like he like says a lot of pervy shit.
Yeah,
but then
he's a teenage boy. He's fucking. They're all pervy.
Yeah, and I'm just like, unless someone can like remind me of like some really bad stuff, like. But he always thinks a bunch of bad stuff. He either A doesn't like act on it, and I'm like, dude, you're just being a little pervy little kid, and you're just being a pervy little kid. Which is like half of kids in real life, tbh. But when I remember when he acted on it, he was just like pretty sure he faced immediate consequences, which is I'm fine with, because once again, sends that message. It's like haha. It's like it serves two purposes. One, haha, funny ecchi humor, but then they wrap it up nicely by being like, oh yeah, but you can't really do that. Bam, more comedy because he gets his ass. That and for me, that's my sweet spot. Someone brings up in like Inuyasha and the monk from Inuyasha who harasses Kagome. And like apparently like she's 15, homegirl's 15, he's in his 20s. They're in a fantasy world that's like in the Middle Ages where there's like demons and shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, y'all know that Inuyasha is like hundreds of years old. I'm like, so it's like if you're gonna stop at the monk, you need to look at Inuyasha. I'm just saying. They do a gif of Lupin the Third. I haven't seen enough Lupin.
Well, I know he's a pervy dude. Like I mean,
yeah, I know he's pervy.
I get Master Roshi. I see the thing of Master Roshi. I don't remember if he was pervy towards young Bulma. I don't remember Dragon Ball all that well. Was he pervy towards young Bulma? I feel like he was.
I feel like he was. Because that would be weird if he wasn't.
It wouldn't fit with his character unless he was also a pedophile.
Kind of, and it's just like, yeah, he's under that uncle that you like who hugs you too long, and you're just like, okay, get away from me. One that I did not, actually, I kind of I was like, huh, and it almost like made me feel type of way when they brought up La Brava and Gentle. I'm like, wait,
this is just like no
wait.
fun allowed. The Twitter thread.
Like, I'm just like, because not only are they both adults,
Mm.
yeah, like she's an adult.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, she's an adult. Not once has Gentle ever sexually like anything to her
yeah. He treats her
in
more
her
like
life.
literally a daughter or
A
like
daughter.
yeah.
Like, and she has like I guess she has like this weird. I guess she can have this weird admiration crush thing,
Mm-hmm.
but like he does not return the sentiment
Mm-hmm.
like at all. Mm-mm. So that kind of made me feel oh I was like no see and that's when I'm just like all right I don't disagree I don't agree with that at all because that relationship was so sweet to me. Like you're not gonna come for them. I will fight for them at least. Mm-mm-mm. But
I'm in a way. I'm just looking at this dude. I'm like, do these people watch any anime? Because it seems like anything that they watch is just like, oh, there's. I hate when anime has any kind of sexual humor at all. I'm like, wow, so you just don't watch like fucking anything. You've seen like 2 shows, maybe.
mm. Apparently they brought Sora online because they use
Sword Art Online is a lot
sexual.
of rape all the time.
It's sexual assault.
Mm.
Apparently, like multiple times. Which
I'm pretty sure that there's a meme where every season of Sword Art Online has to have at least one rape scene.
Yeah, so it's just like, all right. I'm like that one's fair because it's like
I won't waste my breath defending anything Sword Art Online does. Sorry.
Yeah. And I think that goes to the bottom. I think that was it. Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, no, we just went down the list. Just some examples. I guess people in the chat who are listening, in the chat. If you yeah, I know. I'm like, this is not Twitter. I mean Twitch. If you are listening to this, do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there certain animes where you think like, oh, they did too much, or are you just like, no, it's all permissive. Let me watch my pedophilia in peace.
Yeah, are you on the Drew side or the Odie side?
Like that. Are you on my side or on the side of the pedos? I did not quite like that.
Well, I was trying to think like, what's the worst thing? What would be an anime I don't like tolerate because of that type of stuff? I guess the closest I can think of is Redo of the Healer, but that's more. But I do watch it because it's so stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely let us know in the comments how you feel, who do you side with, what anime can you tolerate, what can you not, etc., etc. But with that, I think that that wraps up this very fun. I would say a very
this
fun
was one of the yeah. I love this episode. This is my new favorite episode of the podcast.
Exactly. I feel like I knew you would like it as well. So I'm glad I found it, and we had a great conversation.
Yes.
About it. So with that being said, that concludes our filler arc, and as well, that also concludes our podcast. Oni, be so kind, take it away.
Guys, if you enjoyed this episode of the G&A podcast, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you catch all the episodes as they go up every week. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, join the party over on Discord, and follow us on Twitch, all linked in the description down below. You can also become a patron or a channel member like all these lovely people on screen right now. Get yourself a bunch of awesome little perks, like you get to join our members-only Discord channel, and you get to do some live watches with us every week. We're coming up on a new anime season soon, so we're gonna have a couple of new live watch shows. So if you want to be part of that, make sure you join. Until next time, Roni, Drew, do you have anything you want to add?
Trigger warning, you guys are all cute.
I'm triggered. Until next time, this has been Soroni and
Doobie-doo.
And we'll catch y'all later. Later!
Bye.